Life gets turned upside down, and it's not something that you've ever pictured or could ever understand happening.
You can offer your mother support, or your father, or any family member that's going through that kind of situation in their life, but you don't fully understand it.
It was hard for me to know nearly how much to tell the other children as well, how much they needed to know, how much they would understand.
When someone has cancer, there are many things to deal with. The personal trauma of being diagnosed. There's the treatment with its side effects. For family, carers and friends, there are questions. Jacinta McCormack has had to deal with a long-term cancer prognosis.
It's been an absolute roller coaster. Some days you get up and you just feel like, you know, you can take on the world, and then there's other days where you can't see the end through all the horrible pain and everything else you're going through. And you know, it's so hard, you know, physically it's just horrible to deal with, and then mentally and emotionally it's just, I mean, it's the hardest thing I've ever had to deal with in my life, and it probably is the hardest thing I ever will have to deal with.
For Jacinta, ARC was a place where she could talk to people who understood.
I think at my age, you know, I've just gone married and people are planning their nights out, or if they're going to have children, or what they're going to do. You know, I'm recovering from major surgeries, so I can't go out. I can't consider having children at the moment because I don't know where I am with all this. You know, your family really tries to understand, your friends really try to understand, but they actually can't. And when you walk into ARC, these are people that have experienced this themselves. Most of them have gone through it, their family have gone through it. They've been there.
Whether it's professional support and counselling, complementary therapies or group classes, from its two centres in Eccles Street in Dublin, close to the Mater, and South Circular Road on the doorstep of St James's Hospital, ARC offers services free of charge.
Anybody who's affected can call into either of our centres from anywhere in Ireland. It's about giving them practical tools to help deal with the stresses and strains. It's about alleviating symptoms like nausea, tiredness, fatigue, anything like that. And we really do listen to our clients, so whatever services they want, they choose from our range of it.
For family members, ARC offers reassurance too. That was the case for professional rugby player Shane Jennings, whose mum Joan has been through the doors.
To be honest, I was probably a bit naive about the whole thing, probably a bit scared. When you hear the word cancer, you get very worried very quickly, and I struggled to deal with it at the start. It is that person that goes through the surgery or goes through the chemotherapy or the radiation that they have to have a bit of a fight in their hands post-surgery that we don't fully understand, and I think that's where ARC really kind of comes to the fore. And for us as a family, I think it was more about obviously being there for her, and whatever she wanted or needed we would try and help her, but it was more to facilitate her trying to get better, and I think the real people that helped her were these guys here and the nurses in the hospital and things like that. So
Tracy Shorthall is mum to 9-year-old Louise, who was diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia. For them, ARC was a haven between home and hospital.
Louise was receiving treatment, but how important was it for you as a family to use the services of ARC, and what did you avail of?
They were fantastic from the get-go. I came down to their South Circular Road branch, and you have somebody straight out the door, the kettle is on, the box of biscuits are out. I kind of said to myself, oh, I'm fine, I don't need counselling, it's Louise that, you know, that has the illness. But she said, look, it's there if you ever want to. So I said, look, we'll give it a shot. And I went down, and it was, for me, it was a huge breath of kind of fresh air, because it was somewhere that I was able to go and talk about whatever had gone on with Louise to somebody that was able to say, yes, that's okay, and that's normal for you to go through that. And it just kind of gave me a little bit of comfort that I could kind of go back to Louise, and I was kind of able to kind of focus my attention on her then. I was kind of more prepared.
And for people like Jacinta, it's offered hope.
Just to try and teach yourself to have a moment where you're not overwhelmed by this, the chaos that is kind of Cancerland, is just, it's brilliant.